Hey guys, how's it digging? It's the Nerdy Movie Guy. So today I want to talk about the Iron Claw. So this movie is about the Von Erichs family, and in this movie, wrestling was a big part of the film. It's of course part of its themes, and they shoot many matches, many scenes where they have their matches. But in this movie, it's more focused on their personal life. And so here's the thing: for me, I didn't know a lot about the Von Erich family, so going into this movie, I really knew nothing. So everything that happens, all the tragic moments in their lives, caught me by surprise. Because I just personally, I never watched wrestling as a kid, and I've never had anything against it. I just never really watched it, and that's that. But I was really able to thoroughly enjoy this movie for so many reasons. And a movie like this, that's based on a true story. Of course, you have your script, but you don't need a plot per se, because you pick whatever story that they're choosing. For this one, for example, you don't need to create a sort of plot of which direction it's going. You just pick moments from someone's life, and that's what the movie's about. So not only was the script, I thought it was really good. I never thought there were cheesy moments. I didn't think there were some weak parts. But not only that, I think the acting was really, really good in this movie. So this movie sort of encompasses a lot of different themes, but with the Von Erichs, it's um, the brotherly bond that they shared. And I think beyond that, you can take the themes of a family bond from this movie. So I think there's a lot to be had from this movie, emotionally and personally, just with everything that happened to them. Excuse me. So for everything that's happened to them, they were able to kind of pull apart some of the details and pull apart the emotions and left it raw and on display for this movie. And for someone who knows their lives and knows their story, they're not what's happening, they're going to see it coming. I just didn't. So I had that shock factor that I feel probably so many didn't have. And so you may be thinking, okay, so I didn't watch wrestling. So what drew me to this movie? The cast, the trailer, and the studio, A24. Those are the things that drew me to this movie. And I'm so glad I watched it because, like I said, the acting was so well done. I love movies like this where acting sort of has to carry the movie because it's based on a true story. You don't have some sci-fi plot to unravel throughout the movie, and it just lets people just act, and you get to see how good they are, and I think that's the case of this movie. And this movie is definitely, it's a tragic story, and they definitely could have sugarcoated it. They could have tried to have some lighthearted silver lining, but this movie was just tragic. That was the theme, is just one tragedy after another. And so for this movie, I really love how they were able to showcase each moment in their lives and sort of bring it to a closing on sort of a happy note as best they could with a circumstance like this. So that's one of the things I appreciated is in the ending, Kevin Von Erich, he has his children, and he finally comes to the realization that after everything that's happened, he has his family, and it's his family's smaller than he wanted. He doesn't have his brothers, but he has his family, and that's what's most important for him. And I think that's just a beautiful thing for a movie like this, especially so much has happened the past few years. I think something like this, I think a movie like this with these sort of themes and these messages that can draw from these sort of emotions, I think is something that everyone sort of needs right now. And I think a lot of people who are going through maybe the loss of a family member, even if it's not their brother, I think this movie creates those emotions and those themes that sort of, it doesn't shove it in your face, but it sort of shows you and gives you a sense of what should be important. And that's what this movie did. So through and through, I think the acting was good. I think they had a pretty good script, showcasing for what they, the moments in their life that they chose. And for someone like me, I think something that was kind of cool to see is from a filmmaker standpoint, where each of them, what happened to them, whether You know, when he lost his foot, or when after the shoulder surgery had gone wrong, where they're filming, it kind of just, it's just, it just surprises you when you see what's happened to them. And I think, as from a movie standpoint of view, they hit all the right notes as far as a surprise for those who don't know the story. It came as a surprise, and it was just raw and sudden, and it just kind of hits you in your gut and gives you those raw emotions that so many other movies just don't have. They just don't give you those emotions. And I don't know. So a movie like this, that's one of the things I love best about movies, is where it can give you those emotions, but more than that, it can have you thinking about things that are important and what matters. And those movies are they're becoming less and less common, but when you do see one like that, it just becomes special. And that's what I loved about this movie. It has its tragic moments, has its tragic themes in the story, but it ends on a happy note with his family surrounding him. And at the end of the day, that's what's important for, I think, millions of people. So this movie was really well done. I enjoyed it. And I can't wait to keep reviewing movies, to keep finding these themes and emotions that I can pull from other movies, sort of share with you guys. So thanks so much for watching. If you've heard just sort of a little bit about the Von Erich family, a little bit about A24, and you want to check it out, this would be a good movie to start with, because this kind of showcases what A24 is all about, and it sort of showcases a movie like this where you can have sort of a smaller budget movie that doesn't look or feel like it. That was something else I appreciated. And so, regardless, if you're interested in a movie like this, or the Von Erich family, or the studio, I would check this one out. It was a great movie. It was a great watch. The themes and the emotions, it sits with you long after. That's what I love about movies like this. It works for me. Maybe it'll do the same for you. Thank you guys so much for watching.